I've already told you about mako and how you need to use mako to bind it, and it also helps burn. And you need the herbal powder that will give the fragrance. So I have a little bit of I can't say it. Chuanshong Cha Chao San. It's still a little early for me. That I made before, and it's already mixed with mako. So I'm just putting a random amount into my mortar. Okay, we'll put this over here. And then we're going to mix it with water. Not too much, but enough. So let's see. It's about 24 hours that these have been drying. They did come out relatively flat without, warping. Maybe the thicker ones aren't quite dry. They're a little bit darker there, but I don't think they're going to warp at this point. So I'm going to harvest them, if that's the word. I'm going to try and flip this and hopefully everything won't go flying. That did work pretty good. And all of the incense came out. It didn't, excuse me, it didn't stick. And so I've got some thin sticks and I've got some thicker sticks. And I'm going to just let these dry for a little bit longer, but they're done. We'll try them maybe I'll try them tomorrow to see how they burn. The other side of this tray has a, form for making incense coils. So I'm going to try that out. This is still more of the same dough, the Chuancheng Cha Tiao San. So first step, I'm going to keep this covered, by the way, the part I'm not using, so it doesn't dry out. Hopefully this dough is the right texture. So I'm going to put it in the extruder. Get in there, and try to get all the air out so it's ready to go. And now I'm going to just do the squiggle. Okay. Well, let's see if I can do this and if it will hold together. Hopefully. In the advertisement, for this thing, it showed the person actually squirting it out into the grooves, but that doesn't really seem to work. Okay. This is not holding together as good as the dough yesterday. Maybe it needs a little more moisture. So that one broke. But let's just try again and see. You can, of course, hand do this. You don't need the mold, but that will make it more perfect looking. I think it probably needed to be a little bit more moist. It kind of wants to break in a few places, but you get the idea. Okay. There. So we'll check how that is in a couple of days. A baby one and a better looking one. But I'm afraid they might break. We'll see. Okay. I added a little more moisture to the dough and I kneaded it a little bit more. So the risk is that it will be too sticky and it will stick to things, and that can be a problem. But the benefit is maybe the dough will hold together a little better. So you have to find the magic place for it. Okay. Get in there. Okay. Okay. So I want to cut this in half approximately. Okay. Then, oh, you can't see, sorry. Okay. So I've got two pieces of approximately the same length. And let me see if I can get this done properly. Oh, it wants to break. Let me try again and see. Okay. I'm doing it on a little grid so I can lift it up, and then it will also get some airflow underneath. Okay. When you buy these commercially, often they're two together and you have to kind of gently break them apart. So I'm trying to do this. It's much easier if you have a guide. Okay. These are definitely not going to be perfect, but still we can make incense coils. So here are the various things I've made. I've got my sticks, which I think are pretty dry. We'll try burning them in a minute. This is a bamboo tube that I've sawed and sanded, and you can keep incense in it. It'll help protect it. So when you're sure it's dry, then you can put some incense inside. A few of them broke, but most of them are whole. I'm putting the thicker ones inside. Okay, you get the idea. I don't have to put them all in right now. My cat. Okay. And this will help protect, it's got a cork, and so they won't get broken. Okay. I've got the coils that I made with my new little tray, which can come out really nicely, although this one of course broke. And it's just, it's kind of popping out. I told you they want to warp as they dry, but actually that helps it to pop out. So I've got a nice little incense coil. They're pretty fragile, though they really break easily. Why not have this over here? And then I've got a bunch of little cones I made, some with a cone mold, some by hand, the little ones by hand. The coils that I made by hand, again, you can see maybe that it warped a little and it's coming up there. But now the trick is to try and separate the two coils. You don't want the coils touching each other in the same coil, because then as it burns, it will kind of light what's next to it. And so one way of separating it, besides that mold, is to roll two together, and then there's going to be space in between. But breaking them apart is sometimes tricky without breaking the piece. So yeah, now I've got two little handmade incense coils. So let's go light some of these and see if they work. I don't have a proper stand for coil incense, but you can always make something up. And then you might want to find a round tin for the coils to store them in. Oops, and I broke it already. That's the problem with coils, is they really do break pretty easily, even when you buy commercial ones.